Give us more rain until we are filled and we are sown with the latter rain. It is raining all around me. I can feel it, the latter rain. Ride on Jesus, give us more rain. Give us more rain until we are filled and we are sown with the latter rain. It is raining all around me. I can feel it, the latter rain. Ride on Jesus.
Well. There's a song that they sang in the Sunday school. You remember that song? It's how does it go? Forgive my voice. My voice is always crazy. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the show. The Lord is my rock. He does my things for me. I put my trust in Him. Oh, I know that Jesus is my Savior. This is it. Finally, we got the book out. Well, not out for you yet. Out for you to know that it is done. 500 and how many pages? And I'm going to give you a sneak preview tonight. Last week, I didn't want to do it, and my people wanted me to do it, but I wanted to do it when the book was here. Now we have copies of it here. 517 pages, something like that. This is a book that has a lot of information. We hope that after the launch and by tomorrow, or maybe Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll tell you the launch date, and you can make your way to the launch. We'll give you invitations. It's entitled Africa's New Constitutional Leadership, 77 Stories That Defined Ghana's Fourth Republic. It's by Paul Adomotri. It's here now. It's here. Okay, all right. There are beautiful pictures that you have to see. So on the right there is the front, and on the left, our studio light is a bit dark. I didn't really put it well, but as the program goes on, we'll put it under the light so you can see it very, very well. Okay, all right. So that's a lot that we have to talk about tonight. So what I'm going to do is we're teasing some of the stories in the book, so we share it. You know, we call it the 77 stories, and this is the most important part for me. And let me read it again. I read it the last time. It's the fact that Ghana is talking about the Fourth Republic brings up an obvious question: what is or what happened to the First Republic, the Second Republic, the Third Republic, and will there be a Fifth or Sixth Republic? The legitimacy of this question and its potential answer is the reason for this book. And the biography of Paul Adomotri is a multiple award-winning Ghanaian political journalist. He has covered elections in That's it on the screen. So you can see that. Okay, so more information will be coming about the book. Tonight, though, in our first edition, our first segment, we have a fantastic show. We'll be talking about the book interspersed with tonight's program. So as we do our stories, then I'll be bringing you a story in the book, and I'll tell you what story it is, what page it is, and all of that. But producer, give me an overhead shot of the studio. I want them to see what's going on. I want them to see what's going on in the studio. Now, I need the personalities to be seen. I need them to be seen. There they are. Okay, give them a close-up. People need to see these. People cannot identify them with the long shot. When you give them a close-up, they'll see them. Okay, so they're going to give them a close-up very, very soon. Yeah, there. So they are taking it closer. So, Dickness. What's the name? No, if you court, no, Supreme Court. Abba Semsi wo.
And then say giti pa ni da yellow solve case in the back. You could drive your church. Parliament case once you cry.
Dama.
They're following.
Obechera.
Oh, on
check.
document.
Yeah, they transfer so I check. Be 1 minute. Be that carry.
Yeah, Chief Justice, Opinion, Madam Theodora, get through, not today.
Yeah, concluding.
Children, why is it called?
I can get through. Opinion, not today.
In the amazing come. We'll be talking about the bear.
We are in Putaka the Bay. But you know, but some of my baby stay with
Since I mistake.
Case Ninty.
Okay. Viewers, we have a little bit of interesting comedy to start the show. It's to 9:27 on the clock. Let's do, just before we take the break, let's do the let's do one story from the book. So this story is what? It's story 20, isn't it, Mikhail? This is probably story 20. Story 21. Okay. So these are the personalities here. 21. Let me get back to the person. I'll just do this story very short. It's story 21 in this book, and the book is 77, actually 80 or so, but we call it the 77 stories that defined Ghana's Fourth Republic. So this story is story 21. It's about Professor Mills, Kofi Kumsin, the former Chronicle, the founder of the Ghanaian Chronicle and the publisher, the former editor, Kofi Kumsin, and my good self. So let's see what the story is very quickly. Story 21. Election 2000 brings about Ghana's first presidential debate. So those who are talking about presidential debate, our first presidential debate was election 2000. Let's see the story. And this is in story 21 in our book. Even though Ghanaians and Americans have traditionally voted in the same year, in 1992 and in 1996, it was only in election 2000 that the real similarity in Ghanaian and American election timetable became obvious to Ghanaians. This realization was occasioned by the launch of the American media giant cable news network CNN sometime in 1997 on the platform of MultiChoice, a South African satellite broadcaster. Since its launch, Ghanaians could watch live news from the United States on a daily basis and even on a daily and even hourly basis. CNN gave significant coverage to the American campaign and election in the year 2000. Incidentally, the political matrix was also coterminous. Whilst the Democratic Party's incumbent president, Bill Clinton, was exiting on account of a term limit, the NDC, of similar political philosophy as the Democrats, that's in brackets, the NDC's incumbent president, J.J. Rawlings, was exiting by the same reason of term limit. Vice President Al Gore had become the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party, just as Vice President Professor Mills had become the presidential candidate of the ruling party. The similarities in the dynamics made CNN's political broadcast exceptionally relevant to the Ghanaian political terrain during the campaign of 2000. The live nature of the American election coverage also served to generate tremendous admiration from Ghanaians. Ghana had never in the history of the country organized or seen a presidential debate among competing presidential candidates. CNN's coverage of the debate excited the new generation of Ghanaians, namely politicians, journalists, key civil society actors. Pressure began to mount on the presidential candidates, the Electoral Commission, and the Ghana Journalists Association to think about how to organize a televised debate for all presidential candidates, akin to the American process. The president of the Ghana Journalists Association at the time, Gifty Afenyi-Dazi, was determined to find support to organize the first presidential debate. So it came to pass as no surprise when it was announced sometime in August that the Ghana Journalists Association was collaborating with Freedom Forum, an American foundation, to stage a live televised debate among all presidential candidates for year 2000. Debate momentum builds up as the ruling party, NDC, declines participation. And viewers, this is the story. It's getting interesting, isn't it? NDC announced then in 2000 that they will not participate in the debate. Here is our account in the book. As the momentum for the debate built up, it became obvious that many Ghanaians were excited to see the ruling party's candidate, Vice President Mills, go toe-to-toe with opposition leaders, especially the MPP's John Kufuor, and the leader of the ruling party's breakaway group, the Reform Party's Guzi Tano. Now, this was a circumstance in those days, viewers. Guzi Tano had split from the NDC, he had broken away from the NDC. He was a key member of the NDC. He was a very important member. He was thought to be the heir apparent to J.J. Rawlings, but somehow along the lines, he left the NDC to form his own party ahead of 2000 elections. Now, he had begun his campaign, and Ghanaians were waiting to see how Guzi Tano will respond to Professor Mills and Kufuor in the debate. Okay. Let's move on. It soon became obvious that Professor Mills, his candidature, and his erstwhile announced resolve to consult his predecessor, J.J. Rawlings, by day and by night, will be the focus of the debates. Now, part of the reason why it was speculated that Professor Mills will not do the debates is that at that time he had just made a bullet bombshell statement. He said that becoming the NDC leader, he will rely on Rawlings morning, noon, and day. That story in whole is also covered in the book, the whole Congress, where Professor Mills said that. That's also covered in another story. But let's move on. So this was the issue. Everybody was waiting for Professor Mills to come to the debate, and then he can be questioned about that. Other candidates were hoping that they would take a swipe at Professor Mills on that, etc., etc. It continues. Political parties needed to confirm their participation in this debate, which was to be held barely a month before voting day on December 7th. Just before D-Day, the ruling party announced their decision to decline participation in the debate. The reason given was that candidate Professor Mills was very busy on the campaign trail and had to combine with attending to his official duties as vice president. The NDC position indicated that other candidates had the responsibility only to campaign for their parties, but Professor Mills was vice president with huge responsibilities and thus could not afford time to prepare for the debate and to show up. The NDC's absence from the debate was widely and heavily criticized. Some people expressed no surprise as they claimed that the decision to be absent from the debate was in keeping with the NDC's anti-democratic tendencies and the NDC's dislike for the principles of freedom of speech and accountability. Given the numbers of the candidates participating in the debate, the format could not have been like the American debate, which usually had only 2 participants. Thus, a workable format was agreed upon, wherein the entire process will last for 90 minutes, where each candidate would answer questions, originals and follow-ups, and also have 5 to 6 minutes to state their party's manifesto. The venue chosen for the debate was the International Conference Center, Accra, built a decade earlier, blah, blah, blah. We talk about the conference center. I was among the journalists selected to pose questions to the 6 presidential candidates and also to take turns introducing the various presidential candidates. Without the NDC's Professor Mills, all eyes were on John Agyekum Kufuor, the candidate of the biggest opposition party. Kufuor supporters were hoping that he, Kufuor, would use this platform to sufficiently denigrate the work of the NDC and to show that he was a president in waiting. Any honest assessment of the debates would have concluded that whilst Kufuor succeeded in presenting himself as the president in waiting, merely by his demeanor, candor, and appearance, his rhetoric seemed to lack the necessary punchlines to make it memorable. But Kufuor supporters were all the same delighted at the end of the debate because the NDC renegade, Guzi Tano, now with the Reform Party, was very articulate and heavily exposed the NDC in a manner that only an insider could. Thus, the desire that the ruling party be denigrated was manifestly achieved, not from Kufuor's rhetoric, but from Guzi Tano's charismatic presentation. Indeed, at the end of the 90 minutes, almost everyone who watched the televised event or listened to the radio broadcast came to the conclusion that Guzi Tano had won the debate. They also felt that PNC's Mahama had come a close second to Guzi, whilst some others felt Kufuor had placed third behind the 2 aforementioned. Ghanaians appeared to have a lot of satisfaction from seeing the first presidential televised debate. So that was the debate. Professor Mills didn't show up, but now here's the story. So as Professor Mills didn't show up for the debates, NDC was heavily criticized, and now Professor Mills decided that, okay, he's vice president, he's going to organize his own debate. This is the story. Ruling party candidate Vice President Mills organizes his own debate. Days after the Ghana Journalists Association and the Freedom Forum debate, Ghanaians began to mock the NDC. This was per the suggestion that they had run from a debate in which Professor Mills may have performed creditably had he attended, given what they had seen during the live event. Friends of Professor Mills, namely Kwame Ahoy, local government minister as he then was, Tutubi Kwache, national security minister as he then was, began to see the threats of an erosion of support for Professor Mills, based on what they had now termed his undemocratic and untransparent politics. Meetings were occasioned to formulate a strategy with potential to turn this around. After several meetings, it was boldly decided that Professor Mills will hold a kind of press conference with a moderator, as though it were a debate, and to take as many questions as possible from local journalists and foreign journalists based in Ghana. The moderator selected was Dr. Charles Mensah, an economist and husband to the Electoral Commissioner of today, Jean Adukwe Mensah. So that's the history. So I'm sure some of you are saying, yeah, that's the history. We've come from a long history. All the history of the Fourth Republic, everything is here. 515, 16 pages, 82 stories, called 77 stories. Africa's New Constitutional Development is a book by Paul Adumoch. Everything is in there. Controversial, everything is there. All right, so this is how the Mills debate was set up. So Dr. Charles Mensah, very respected at that time, Valco boss, came into the middle to moderate the debates. And this was very impressive. I mean, you would have thought it to be some journalist or something, but it's a very high-profile person who is not a regular media person, but a very well-respected leader of Valco, one of the important companies of Ghana. This was Dr. Charles Mensah who was moderating the debate. Now, this is the story. This is how it happened. Okay, let's move on. The moderator selected was Dr. Charles Mensah, an economist and husband to Electoral Commissioner Jean Adukwe Mensah. Okay, and the debate was held in one of the smaller rooms of the International Conference Center where the bigger debate had taken place days earlier. Chronicle editor Kofi Kumsin drops a bombshell of a question. Okay, so the debate morning was ready. I was a reporter at that time, very excited to go, and Kofi Kumsin, who is the editor of the Chronicle, was my boss. I was learning under him, even though I worked at Joy FM. Joy FM allowed me to go and be studying his ways of doing things. So I'll go to his office in Nkansa, I'll be sitting there the whole afternoon watching him do his work. And then Joy FM will ask me, what did you find, and all of that. So I was talking to him on a very regular basis. So when this debate occurred, and in those days I used to hang out with Gifty Afenyi-Dazi, Bryce Bleu, Ransford Tete, who was the editor of The Graphic, all of those DJ. We used to meet at the DJ, Harun Atta, and they were the seniors, and the quality of the conversation among those journalists in terms of public policy. What is NDC, what's NPP doing? Cabral Bleami here will be seated. Gifty Afenyi-Dazi will be there. Kofi Kumsin will be there. Harun Atta will be there. Ben Efson will be there. I mean, that was something. By the time you leave that conversation, you've been to journalism school. I don't know whether it's still happening. But anyway, let's get back to the book. Okay, Chronicle editor Kofi Kumsin drops a bombshell. It's here. The setting of the event had Professor Mills and his team seated at a high table, while dozens and dozens of journalists, nearly 100 of them, sat in the audience. This occurred an hour before the event started at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was with Chronicle editor Kofi Kumsin, and thus here is my eyewitness account. So from here, in the book sometimes I break into an eyewitness account. So sometimes I'm writing like a reporter, sometimes I'm writing like an eyewitness. So here I break into eyewitness. So it's inverted commas, okay. On the morning of the event, I, a Joy FM news reporter, stayed in the company of Kofi Kumsin, editor of the Chronicle. We arrived at the event venue, International Conference Center, together. After Professor Mills had taken his seat, the room was too packed for us to find seating. We therefore both sat in the aisle and on the right on the floor. If you could believe that, yes, you could. So this was me walking into the press conference. Professor Mills was already seated. Somehow, Kofi Kumsin wanted us to get in late. I'm not sure why. Those of you who know him, you can understand the story. He wanted us to get in late. I'm not sure why. But, I mean, I'm the junior one, so I'm working with him. So we walk inside. Professor Mills already seated. And I tell him that everywhere is full. He said, it doesn't matter. We sit on the floor. So we start climbing the stairs in the aisle, and then we sit on the floor. And the whole room is looking in our direction because this Kofi Kumsin is the biggest media item in these circumstances ever. And he arrives in the room in the company of a small boy news reporter, and everybody's wondering what's happening. I'm holding his recorder, and I'm holding mine as well. So we walk in together, and then I tell him that Uncle Kofi, I used to call him Uncle Kofi. Uncle Kofi, the place is full. He said, well, let's sit on the floor. So we sit on the floor. All right, let me tell you what happened after that. All right, so we therefore sat in the aisle and right on the floor. I took Kofi Kumsin's tape recorder together with mine and walked up to the high table to place it in front of the event speaker that we might get a clear recording, as did many. Oh, sorry. All right. The event began with the moderator welcoming the media and reiterating the reasons why Professor Mills could not attend the main debate. He summed up his introductory remarks by indicating that Professor Mills would give a short statement, then proceed to take questions. When Professor Mills took the mic, he was full of smiles and seemed a very content public official. It was very clear that the Vice President had taken some lessons in communication shortly before this event. Dressed in a dark political suit, he spoke with He spoke with that almost permanent smile for 2 or 3 minutes. Then he invited questions. Major important questions were asked in turn, and quite a few drew responses from the audience. But the one that drew the longest cheer was Kofi Kumson's famous question, paraphrased as follows. So Kofi stood up and said, "Mr. Vice President and presidential candidate of the NDC, thank you very much for this opportunity. You have already said in whole at the last NDC Congress, in reference to Rawlings, quote, at this stage, he read from his notes. Kofi Kumsi then read from his notes. He said, he's telling Professor Mills that you said, I will call on you morning, day, and night. Kofi Kumsi continued, in these circumstances, and this was the big question, he said, in these circumstances, what would you do about the bigotry of the 31st December Women's Movement and their insensitive leader, First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings? Tell you viewers, you should have been there. What happened in the room? This is 2000. Rawlings is president. He's the strongest man in Africa. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings is a very powerful figure in the NDC campaign. Everybody is afraid of 31st December Women's Movement. They have a red beret. Now nobody sees the red beret anymore 24 years down the line. But they used to have a red beret. And they were a very effective group of people. They were a political machine. Cecilia Johnson, others. They were massive. And everybody was afraid to talk about Mrs. Rawlings. And Mrs. Rawlings had been the reason why some journalists had gone to jail on criminal libel because they had published issues about her bathroom wear and all that, the things that she had in her bathroom, a jacuzzi and something. And then there had been criminal libel situations. Mrs. Rawlings was the reason why the debates began whether people who were not public officials can have access to criminal libel prosecution, etc., etc. So Mrs. Rawlings was a major figure. Kofi Kumsi stands up in front of Professor Mills, who is trying hard to show himself as different from Rawlings in that campaign. And now he's going to say that he's going to rely on Rawlings, but he's trying to distance himself from everything negative about Rawlings. And then in this press conference, Kofi Kumsi comes and says that, what would you do with the bigotry of the 31st December Women's Movement? And the insensitive leader, that's the West, insensitive leader, First Lady, Professor Mills doesn't know what to say. Okay. This question drew wild laughter, cheers, and general noise lasting for more than 5 minutes. During the interim, and by the time Professor Mills settled down to answer the question, the famous Kofi Kumsi quietly exited the hall and beckoned me to pick up his recorder to take it to his office. So after Kofi asked the question, and everybody was, hey, he just told me that, family recorder number I, and he walked out. I remained there. So by the time the thing settled, the Kofi Kumsi was not there. By the time Professor Mills was answering the question, Kofi Kumsi was not there. In fact, Professor Mills looked in our direction and was trying to catch. He thought I saw him sitting there. He didn't quite say anything. But I noticed that he was looking in the direction. And I was the only one sitting there. I was left naked. Everybody was looking at me. Those behind me asking me, hitting my shoulders. Where's your man? I said, he's gone. And they said, he's gone. I said, he's gone. A lot more of that in the book. There are 2 other stories that I'll bring to you on tonight's edition of the show. Let's get to Dickness and his group of people, and let's hear what they have to say. Before then, let's watch what Dickness and his people have been doing. So there's a video that is a Galamsey video, something they did on Galamsey. Can we have a look at it? Can you show that? Just show the Galamsey here.
What's that?
Hey.
Yeah. What's that?
So no come here, comment him, Papa. Hey.
Catch the one could not press Van and Brian. Let your friend go.
Comment him.
Yeah.
I'm Papa.
Hey, Galam said, he said that what talk I say.
You're quite chill, Papa.
Now no go soon. You will see Papa.
Papa.
Wait, he got on, buddy.
Yeah, you should have said no. For friend number.
Miles upon the malady, infinite day, I know.
What's my name? You also by me, the Bama would deep. Oh, how much deep pint? Also, only way now. Die!
say Sunni yala.
What's saying so? I could be a Galam.
Oh, you know last say. Yan so that.
Giti. Oh, Giti. In Sunabranum. No. Oh, Giti. Antibioma. Half a fire, little Betty. Papa. This is what I say. Antimon. One of your liberal men. Baby, and soon as say. Maybe to be a nippy. Don't do excellent. But for a basic petty. I said, be back. Oh, Chitty. Never I am myself and to what happened me. You're fast. And to what happened me. No. It's all kidney. I have a yellow baba. We see you now. I will kidney yellow baba. I will live on the hospital. What's that? It's in Yala. But I'm Chitty. I come at Papa. Met the son. Hey, Asamo. Thanks, into me that. I'm saying that when was when you down with the Galam, village, Giti.
TV off. TV off. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Thank you very much. Dickness. What can you know?
Hey, yeah, lawyer, city.
Oh, they speak English.
Yeah, other brofunias.
They speak English. Yeah. Okay. I'll be asking you, how did you start? Because this is becoming very interesting in Ghana. Young men putting skits together. You are doing it. Other people are doing it. That's really something. This is a skill that we didn't know we had. We saw sofa dancing. We saw bra. We've seen people go abroad, dance ensemble, Ghana dance ensemble. But now we're seeing that the talent is real, and that if we can put this talent together as a trade facilitation policy, we can really do a lot with this. So I want to ask you, how do you start? How do you put it together? And how would you like people to respond so that this industry can grow? Just before then, though, let me take text messages and let me ask Anziba, what are people saying? Just give us 3 of it.
Thank you very much, Paul. From Kobe Dami, he says, I definitely need to grab a copy of your book, Paul. Congratulations. And as Jimfi says, Captain Smarts, when are you writing a book for us? Lastly, from Francis Mensah, he says, congratulations, Paul. Is the book available online? Over to you.
Yes, quite a number of people seem very excited about the book. A lot of people are congratulating Paul. Jamal M. Abubakar says, congratulations, Paul Ademotri. Writer J says, congratulations. A few people are also asking where they would get copies of the book to buy. Maxwell and she says, congratulations, Paul. We are waiting for the enemies to write their book. And lastly, Daniel Abdullahi says, Chairman Paul, please don't forget to get it on Amazon so that I can get a copy. People also want to know if there will be an e-version of the book so they could grab one online. Now back to you, Paul.
Okay, yeah, there will be an e-version. It's not yet launched. It will be launched very soon, in a few days. Okay, Dickness, Inti, what is your background? What's your real name? What is your life?
Okay, this is Dickness Kofi Abokuma. But my real name is Ebenezer Kofi Arthur.
Oh, Ebenezer Kofi Arthur.
Or change.
Nah, what's your background?
Okay. Education level, Nesby says that. Namakana Mary tertiary.
Okay, good.
Yes, very tertiary. Menadumara.
So who is this man?
Eyamaba. That's my son, Yabaya.
Ya.
Yabaya.
A son is called Ya?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, one of the contents. Yes, he was washing a female pants. Then we needed any free coffee. And Mr. Sir, who was 4 dresses. When he said, what's in coffee, my son? My for Yabaya. When he said, did you marry?
Then who is this? A colleague?
Yes, senior colleague.
Senior colleague.
Endofojo. Okay, so why? Let me ask you. Why do people do the cross-dressing thing?
Okay, first of all, we give thanks to God. Has been so great to us. With the cross-dressing, some more. Papa, no, no, men catch na so.
Oh, but you want to catch me?
Me law school, me ko baby, me course, me law school ni echi. You know, with the cross dressing, no, I think say time and I near started TikTok, no, with the normal dressing as a guy, no, people were not liking it.
Okay.
We post a video, it doesn't go.
It won't go.
When you do the skit and you dress a guy as a guy,
It won't go.
as soon as I started dressing like women,
It's like magic.
I don't know, a draw on my attention.
yeah, but that makes sense. It will, I'll be drawn to a man.
Yes.
But does it mean that the people look at the appearance before they buy the content? I don't mean buy with money, but before they get into the content?
It depends on what you are bringing out. That will make them get their consent.
So all your skits are cross-dressing?
Oh, not all of them. Or any narana or your cross-dressing. Sometimes, content is about to pardon. Because most of my content, me abrewa. I dress like an old woman. And I want to portray what your number of from where you will fear. Into me, as a want to mention in being one and no. Take a million being one as an what to my year. But also in the many abrewat's my grandma said something Nindi any bino. Because I was raised by my grandmother.
And you can act it.
Exactly.
Is that a talent?
My friend, a talent or a gift from
For
God.
you also?
Same.
It's a talent.
Yes.
Talent, I can kind Article 119, Section 3000, Women's Law. Okay, kind hawk cry,
Section 3000.
Section 3000.
Of Article 119.
Yeah, Women's Law.
Romance law.
Yeah, if we a strohoba junction also cry, maniafa, the other left cry, you could see say na a talent and a couple edema because yes, you're there, then I'm no, and people are really loving it. Our Women's Law.
I see. See, what's the way forward? It's why you write a script?
Oh, also there, your talent and we don't write scripts.
So you just start?
Obia ne to me share. Baka da wutu me share atereshim. Say so you ne share na atera. That's so you go ha on your sojeni or a normal person. Next ne share na atera o you go ha or a normal person. Yes, you go ha na sunsun na ba. Into intro scripts no copy intro kwa. You say ya lepe.
Is it what does the cameraman do? What is it? How many cameramen do you use?
Oh, yeah, the phone and you use. Your phone and use it.
It's one of the phone. Who is filming? Him or one of your people?
At times, you buy your notra.
Oh, it's phone.
Go Elizabeth.
Yes. Phone or
Make it a yarn use it traffic.
Then you edit it and put it on.
Yeah, edit and go part it at home.
On TikTok.
On TikTok.
Does it go on Instagram as well?
On Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yes.
So if I'm looking for Dickness, I go to TikTok.
But Dickness Abokuma. How the
Dickness Abokuma.
Baba. I could Google about Dickness.
So do you know how many skit productions you've done so far? 500.
Hey, you're awesome. More than.
Do you do it like every day?
We post three to 4 videos a day.
3 to 4 skits a day?
Yes. In this way, 3 videos are back under 21 a week.
It's we are not easy.
I say.
We are not post 3 and no easy.
Oh, imposting a day. Imposting a day. You post an apa if you are bird. No, the moment time I'm a fan base, no.
We're ready, yeah.
It's an apa them poster. Then we are going for lunch. We are for lunch. Aba. It's banana not do. Them post was so wakada. When you find me post.
Okay, so there's a marketing planning that goes with it. It's not you don't just throw it on.
No.
You look at the behavior, lifestyle of your audience. And know that by this time when you're meeting one per hour. What about 5 when we're meeting? Then you put it in.
Yes.
Okay, so that on Pedro will be office because of the traffic into Dickness Abokuma. Is this America that one year chroma with my
able to me, I shot
okay, no, I take text messages. One year, 1 minute. But let me take text message. What's a text message? Don't worry, home. Answer about what are people saying? That do we want to ask them questions?
Okay, I have one message for them. Eddie Kweku says he's watching them live from Morocco tonight. Fancy language is indeed the best. I want to see these guys on an international stage, and I think they should try and incorporate other languages in their skits. Antoinette, do you have anything for us?
Says, you guys have been shouting a lot in your skits, so
You should be calming down sometimes. Yeah. Now back to you, Paul.
Oh, don't you have one more? See, my mic is like.
Well, it's not really about them, but it's about the book. People are asking if the book will be expensive or cheap enough for them to afford.
Oh, they're asking whether the book will be expensive or cheap. Ah, okay. Okay. It will be reasonable. There will be a free account for students. Some students can get it for free. Okay. So Dickens, are you ready for us? Okay. So let's hear it.
Fojo. Fojo.
Yeah.
Once I can a man case knows the free Accra Bena.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a bono.
My name last and the case in the mess. Once I can you.
And I make my lord. I can article 2 Numa. Eba Peter Law, Peter Humanim. If it is a true opposite and a 400. Ubemose was sending a yearly bona, my moja pramono, no, a Johnny free, see, I make us say, I done it.
Now, Gallus Macanca, you know, so I was 6 so not so only a one or
that's a baba. That be a penny, man, didn't be allowed to change to allow you.
It's a winning case, no.
And I'm making kind free article 9 in Muhon. What to say, no, American was them. So about when you do now,
interesting.
America said, "Tia Johnson now don't saw Ketesh." I don't cry and kind.
Woman, no pain for your local law. And you school, and you must school like Yakwa. Keep quiet over there. Fajo. Mobo do 5,000
for talking back to lawyers, disrespecting lawyers in front of a national
television.
Section 3,000.
Section 3,000.
You are still talking about this boy you don't respect. Mwaze, you are going to do $10,000.
In the Supreme Court case, no.
Mammy, no,
Gertrude,
yeah, and no say no, delegate for the buyer.
Delegate for Sedan.
Yet not making kind of almost say, Siciano. This homogeneous assembly, my yen bet me a Soviet assembly.
My catcher, missing no issue no local those are Supreme Court case. No, then China, yes, so.
And I was watching TV, not me share send you all can pay a uniba. That can make share yourself, Coben Mania for Article 9. What was that?
Obo the injunction and the Miss Mammy
in conjunction, and onion one. Yea, conjunction. It's a bit mere conjunction.
But who not can last part an injunction of the sanction and the
estimation. It's
a no young
shall want to do a honor so. Someone fast
a charge. Mamma, no, Cofono.
Yes,
now seat once vacant seat. Yeah, charge on a
Obia $10,000.
Always come up, what you as Gracia.
Yes, so.
Young just Gracia payment. S. Gracia. Spell me. S. J. O. P. R. Hey, Dabby. Cash. It is spell as in my and I may S. G.
Cash.
C. Hey.
I know your silence. Where's?
If you're not in school, go here.
Gracia,
and one.
That be
for not to see a chili. This almost be to us, so for not to see no.
Not a full sentence. S. Gracia payment.
$10,000.
10,000 for vacant seats.
I'm the cost of that.
Hey.
By then, court, I did the court in my hand.
Court rice.
Yeah, sorry, but that's it's this year, Obi Pede, or dickness, no, a baby man or a party like event. Government is doing an event, inauguration of new president. What do?
Oh, since you're I never contact you. Never contact you.
What about number?
Enya TikTok, I bohuyan. Eko Facebook, I bohuyan. Eko Instagram, eko YouTube, yes, just 0550 903136. And now so there, na me yad more china okay then 5th November to, yes, 5th November to 7th November. About Trade African House, yes, Exim Bank. If we wo every year, what can then African trade? One hour year made in Ghana, and exhibition. I think Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, Farmers Day, no.
Oh, Farmers Day.
Yeah.
Yearly program or Exim Bank. African Trade House, Mount Senyama, African Product, and one Mijinem, me check products and there's a lawyer
in no project.
You don't want to say, okay, viewers, that's they'll be coming again. That is Dickness Abokuma on Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure you already know. I'm sure.
A lawyer na come.
Lawyer
Dickness Abokuma.
Okay.
Lawyer.
So just follow them on Instagram, follow them on TikTok. Okay, now we're going to go on with the program. Dr. Osei Edutourism is in the studio. He is the Minister for Education, and he's going to talk to us not just about education, but the other day he launched a youth mobilization program for the Vice President. It was launched in the Ashanti region, and we'll talk about that. And he'll give us the updates on education, the updates on the campaign. Edutourism is also running, I believe, for the third time in his constituency, where he ran as unopposed in the primaries in Jache Pramso. We'll be talking to him about that as well. But I was looking at this video, and I wanted to congratulate my man, Miracles Abuaje, again. Why am I congratulating him? Miracles came on the scene about a year and a half ago. I have noticed that since he came on the scene and is doing the communications work for the NPP, he's been able to recreate himself. I've seen 2 or 3 other people who are doing as excellent a job as he does, and that's the important part. It's very, very impressive that he comes into the job and he's able to create. Miracles comes into the job and he's able to create other people who are doing as excellent. When he came into the job, he was competing with Sami JP, wasn't he? Now, Miracles doesn't compete with Sami JP anymore. He has other people who are competing with Sami JP, whilst he focuses on the general's role. The general role in communication is to deploy people where they should be. That's the general role. But also deploying yourself is part of the role. Sami JP hardly deploys himself. Miracles hardly deploys himself these days. He has people who can go and meet Sami JP on TV and deal with them. Look at this boy talking to Sami JP, for instance. I thought it was a bit harsh at the end when he talked about his grandmother. But the points that he makes, and this is somebody created by Miracles. Have a look.
For Bami to go and sit in the studio to say that in fact your mama has solved so I won't clap for him.
Sami talks about the NPP's inability to add even a megawatt of power to our generation capacity. Let him take the national energy sector statistics from Energy Commission, page 5, section 3, table 3 and 1. Installed capacity, that's of 2016 December, 3,794. Dependable capacity, 3,481. 2022, that same Energy Commission report, page 10, table 3.2. Installed capacity, 5,454. Dependable capacity, 4,843. Renewable alone, 2016, we were generating 37.7. 2023, as it stands now, latest report, we are generating 171.8. The difference, it is my grandmother that rose from it and added it. It is not MPP.
Why your grandmother is dead?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, my grandmother is dead. He says MPP has not added anything. So I'm saying that the difference, as per the Energy Commission, it was added by my grandmother.
So you are debunking that.
Clearly, it is falsehood. He talks about intellectual dishonesty without being able to prove that what I said was right or wrong. He was talking about irresponsibility. Do you know what is irresponsibility? I'll show you what is irresponsibility. Irresponsibility is when a market woman goes for a loan and they come and sit here, use gibberish, use language, grammar, to tell the market woman that the doomsday she experienced is not relevant because John Mahama solved it. When in October, John Jinapo, sitting on Joy, admits that the doomsday challenge is as a result of money. What is irresponsibility? Irresponsibility is when people have to gather around Bobo and Kendo to learn. And today, you who superintended over that, call me or my government that has ensured that there is stable light without recourse to anything irresponsible. He talks about tips of the iceberg. Ghanaians will not enter the iceberg to know what is at the tip because they have shown us what is in the iceberg. What is in the iceberg is an energy sector that he claims that it is burdened by a debt of $2 billion. When in 2016 December, Muta Wakil of the NDC, ranking member of Energy on Finance, speaks to 2017 and
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
To all our believers,
to the Niger Gunners of Global Road,
all you Artetas of Africa, of Accra,
of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us. Obrigado. Talo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did it from there.
Yeah?
I've been a mattress where they dead for me.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique. One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Daddy, ure fifi SHS ho fa so amini junior. Yenya ya na SSC e bo ho ban.
Papa, akwan ni ayaresabia ahodo a ehye agenda 111 asene so e. SSC e bo ya pomudi hu nyuma eni akwan so ho ban.
Afein so digitalization inti ejuma bebre beba amagana fo nyina.
Yo.
Wani enyina e da chen de ayemo ho ban.
Sroho, #1.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. So I'm not shaking. I have NHIS already.
Actually, I'm on a line.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in your office when you can just download their app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Please, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
The luckiest.
*712#.
Luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing from your book, man.
Hey, wait. You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, go bill radio. We have *712#. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. *712#. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Let
me choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random tickets, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
So good, miss.
Hey, there, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Apomode wonsem yemfen diagro. Enunti nese wonom edopapa nko. Exodus moringa capsules, any Exodus dandelion capsules. Efi Exodus ebusuanum na ebeboa wapomode. Emu bia wo benya no betimi aboa. Nanso, se wonya to no a, wo betimi andom abo. Na ebeboa papa. Se wonom Exodus moringa capsules, ne Exodus dandelion capsules. Ebua mamoja di efusani yie. Na fe ebuste wo immune system no. Na kwetia yarewa ahodo. Menim yie se nipa dodo na nim dia moringa etimi ye. Na dandelion so ye nim. Enu nti menkasa bebre. Enye ma pemfo. Ana abatan a oma enifo. Ana abofra onya emfidumi. Exodus ehua dance die dos.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety is as important as the air that we breathe. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response 1.
One night, I heard the glass shattering. Armed robbers had broken in. Before I could react, the alarm blared and the lights flashed, and Response 1 was already on their way. Within minutes, the security was at my door and the armed robbers had fled. I never want to be that scared again. And now I know with Response 1, I never will.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response 1's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response 1, stay connected, stay protected.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Ago man within some defi kwa edwumakuo nchen emmamo yede kwa mixture baaye moji tumu kama afa yede foforo ba kwa plus mixture na kwa empty mixture kwa mixture eboa ama onipedua nya hoden no na kwa plus mixture nso eboa immune system fa kwa mixture and kwa plus mixture fa boa wapomoden afen so yede malaria drop tatahwe abedwa so ne din de kwa empty mixture kwa mixture kwa plus mixture and kwa empty mixture enye ma pemfo emma omuma akola nofo ene nkola omundi mfie dumienu hwe se why test a kire se wo malaria mowa no bi ewo mogemu ansa na wafa kwa empty mixture opedudu etua fre kwa edwumekuo no ewo 0244 726611 ana 059-165-5778 FDA agi egwedi nkrato yi ato
so why am I watching papa bia na mo you want to say bema we.
Yeah, this is my secret. Give us P capsules. Emma, I want to go from now on to me to my din one pem. Give us P capsules. Over do as a mama. Oh no, enemy lawyer.
And to lawyer no na show bottom. Are you from? Then I found upon a permission about Shamoa as a Niji.
What's on?
No. You nephew, I can't wait. The friend give us cold capsules. Say yes, is Yara and the wall swore. Cold did do nip a dream when you now walk sa a mamma and me my wounds. I will name you. Give us cold capsules. Obey your free
lawyer.
Give us cold capsules.
And I give us P capsules.
Hey, and they give us free.
And men are what if you do what you do, Cronkwan, Efa. Give us core capsules. A pain for a batter, one more menu for one and Quadawan if you do me a nunca.
You the answer to my prayers. You with me everywhere. You my tonight.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
Prepare your bantama.
Matias.
Cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we use to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Kile kosen.
Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling when you Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, don't say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Jobs to no deal.
I understand your hassle. Hope they come. John Mama they come do the National Apprenticeship Program where he go sort you guys.
Brother Sammy, what is that?
John Mama no say no be everybody way won't work for office.
Like me.
That one day is true.
Under the National Apprenticeship Program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic day inside. Me like this, I don't want to learn mechanical, but the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing, they say, when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere.
That's sweet. That's be one waffle.
Another one waffle thing be say, when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shopping my town wait 7 December.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
One choice, multiple styles, all big, all unique.
Welcome. Please look into the camera for verification. Thank you, John. You are now verified. Please select your preferred candidate. New candidate. Profile being verified. Please choose another. New candidate. Profile not ready. Please choose another. To see development options for this candidate, press yes or cancel. Will cancel free SHS. Will cancel LEAP. Will cancel health insurance. Will bring back Doomsaw. Should I continue? Press yes or cancel. Please choose another. Development options. Will improve free SHS. Free healthcare. Flat rate scheme for importers. Jobs for the youth. Affordable public transport with electric buses. Generally, a great choice. The only choice really. Thank you for voting number 1.
Vote number 1 on the ballot.
Welcome back to the show. It's campaign time, isn't it? It's campaign season, and everybody's campaigning. Dr. Edutourism is in the studio. He's the Minister for Education, and it's upon his shoulders that the MPP campaign seems to be running. Doc, MPP campaign analysts have been pleasantly surprised that free SHS has come almost back into the center. This will now be about the fourth election that free SHS has led. 2012, 16, 20. So everyone thought that it was old, but MPP are pleasantly surprised that this is back on the center. How do you feel about this? Being the man in the saddle,
Good evening to you and viewing audience. Of course, it's refreshing to know that what we know in terms of what education does for people is widely recognized in the country. To some people, the idea that they can go to high school and don't have to pay for it. They can go to school, chop box and trunk, drop it off in the dormitory, go to the dining hall to eat without being asked anything. Have you paid your fees? For some people, the idea that they can go to school and when it's exams time, they are not being sent home. Their parents were used to a system where for those
they were expecting the child to come home.
Yes, I mean,
they knew that he was going to come.
Come home. You're going to be sent back home to go and collect your fees. And grandparents who saw their children go through that no longer ceases at home. When you go to my village, it's this miracle of the highest level. So I'm not surprised at all if you happen to be somebody who has dealt with, especially in the rural areas, work with families, and now you have a situation where they are not going begging. They are not going to the pastor to beg and say, can you help me? They are not going to the head of family to beg. They are not calling their family members abroad to see if their children can go to school. To us in the villages and towns, this is miracle at the highest level. Something that they never expected could happen in this country. It's happening. So I'm not surprised that Free Senior High School has become front and center of this great debate towards election December 7th.
Whilst it is free SHS is a big deal, the middle class are still not particularly satisfied. And they were not quite happy with President Akufo-Addo's comments the other day when he said that if you want to pay the school fees, go and pay in a private school. As for university girls, the government will pay. They were not too happy. They think that the standards of their grade school is being lowered. The standards of June Shekan, who, by the way, they have to be congratulated for winning the science quiz yesterday after 10 whole years. The standards of June Shekan, in fact, the standards of Adisadel, they think the standards of St. Peter's. They say that when I was in St. Peter's, we go to a dining hall, we are 50. Today, they are 6,000.
Standards.
Yeah, so it doesn't reflect with the results. I was going to say that. It doesn't. The results show the standards are improving. But the well-being of the students is being discussed in the media every now and then. And the middle-class old students are altogether not really happy with the process.
I think you have to look at the education system in this country at this time. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate because I came into this space with a full knowledge of how quality education systems run, how relevant education systems look like. So I come into this system, I see the gaps, and I'm saying to myself, thank God I'm the Minister for Education, how do we bridge the gaps? How do we make sure that when you talk about the middle class, these are the individuals who are paying for their children to go to kindergarten, for 6 years of primary, 3 years of junior high. You know, we have a 14-year pre-university education system or pre-tertiary education system. For some people, the first time they see something, semblance of something free, is at the high school. They've paid for 11 years of education.
And they said they can pay.
So the point of the matter is this. We happen to be one of the few countries where we don't hold government to account and say, I'm paying taxes. I deserve quality public schools, wherever they are. So the fact that we did not demand, the fact that we did not have visionary thinking in transforming public schools and you paid for 11 years and you are saying I can pay. Yes, you can pay, but we need to create a more equitable society. There are some who can't. But whenever this question comes up with I can pay, I always ask people that, are you going to pay if your child is placed at my famous Jachi Pramso Senior High School? For many people, when they say they can pay, they want to pay for pre-sec education.
That's what they were thinking.
Yes, but does that mean we should reserve 70% or 90% of quality pre-sec education to those who can pay? What kind of country are we creating? We should rather embark on an adventure where you open access, but you also improve quality. So when people talk about standards, Infancy 2014, 2024, they are back, right? But Ketasco is also there.
Yes, they were there in the final.
They were there in the final.
It wasn't a story we could have told in 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
That's not possible.
No.
For a quiz for Keta and then Infancy to come to final.
No.
And Keta is not their first time.
No. You see, it will have been
St. James.
You don't even talk about it. St. James now arguably the top performing school in this country.
Absolutely.
Of course, I know Presec is not going to agree with it. But you look at what is going on, emergence of new schools.
But that's what the policy seems to have done. I was discussing with my producer the other day when we were looking at the results, and new schools are picking up. And I've been looking at the data of the political parties for free SHS. There's a lady who did a video and said that when free SHS came, she believed it, but she didn't think that it included St. Louis and Opokuwari and Prempeh College. And apparently that was what many people were thinking. They thought free SHS is for low-level schools. They didn't think Achimota too is free SHS because they found themselves incapable of reaching Achimota by any standards.
Oh, yes.
So they didn't really believe that I can be placed in Achimota. So she said that when one of the children came, when I was placed in Achimota, they thought it was a lie.
Yeah.
Say, now you, this village boy, you think that you've been placed. It's not true. Go back and go and check.
And
with this, your aggregate 21, who will take you in Achimota?
And they come and they do so well.
I've heard that. And so it was explained to them that, yes, you got aggregate 21, but there's a system that is picking underprivileged people and putting them in Achimota. And you have to thank God that he was picked. And they were confused. They didn't know anybody. They just been picked into Achimota.
Quite a few of such stories.
And I'm sure that the pressure on you, I'm sure it's still there, on placement is going down because parents are also telling me that there's a school called Manfi Wesley Girls.
Yeah, Manfi Methodist Girls.
Now they call it Manfi Wesley Girls.
Of course, because
apparently they are doing super, and they say you took a headmistress from somewhere.
Wesley Girls, and she went there.
That's why they are doing so well.
Ahantamine Girls got a Wesley Girls assistant principal. Now it's top tier school. So what we have seen is that it's about leadership. So the new schools that we are opening, we have mentors being given to them. For example, Bosomtwe Girls in my constituency is being mentored by Mrs. Jokoto, former assistant headmistress of Wesley Girls. In 5 years' time.
So in your view, this whole differences in school was about leadership?
Leadership is key.
I think you're right, because historically, all those schools have names. When you ask Wesley Girls people, they will say Mrs. Achampo. You ask Presec, they will say Mr. Piedu. You ask Accra Academy, they will say Konoa. And names of headmasters in Achimota or Mr. Siedu for many, many, many years.
They were there for a long time.
So it was more leadership-driven than systems.
Leadership is key, and they build the systems. So now what we've done is this. We can reduce the stress on the high-performing schools by affiliating them with new schools. That is why we took our assistant headmaster from Presec and sent him to Abomosu, and he's running Abomosu so well. And come to think of it, Abomosu has more science labs than Presec. Wow. So if you have a leader from Presec who understands the ecosystem that brings about high-performing school, and it's in a school where they even have better equipment and tools, then you're going to see a situation where that school is merging, and then it's becoming one of the top performing schools. Now you go in there and students want to go to a STEM school. So you begin to see that we are really lifting the bottom. There are some
it looks like that. It looks like the policy has lifted a lot of low performing schools.
And now with the new courses being offered in high school, aviation and aerospace as a high school course, engineering is now being offered. Students
have you started?
Oh yes.
So those going to SS1,
they're choosing.
They will be doing aviation.
Aviation depends upon the school that you go to.
Is it an elective?
Actually, you see, it's a 3-year course. It's an elective, but the good news is that it complements the science courses. So you still do your biology, chemistry, but you are doing aviation. Because now, what is happening to us is that in those doing science, and now they do STEM, you don't need to do integrated science. Because
I've been hearing that.
Biology, chemistry, and physics, why do you go to a low level science?
I even understand that those doing extended maths don't do the regular maths anymore.
You see,
We were doing O-level, as science students, you do O-level maths and you do add maths. You do both.
They still do it this year because the university said they want to adjust. They want to adjust to the system.
So they haven't fully stopped yet?
No, they haven't fully stopped. But the whole idea for the sciences was that biology, chemistry, and physics, advanced level science. And then you go and do integrated science, which is a low level science. So waste of time. So now they have a space, a pathway.
Or to add some of those things like aviation and all that. Would they be examined in aviation?
Oh yes, biomedical sciences, engineering. These are all courses that have been done in high school. And manufacturing.
So what kind of engineering will you be teaching? General engineering? Because you have several.
Yeah, they have general engineering. And this course was created with university professors in engineering. They met with NACA and then they put the courses together. So what is happening in our education space is that we are really making teaching and learning relevant to the 21st century needs of Ghana. Coding and robotics are being offered now. So if you look at the courses that we are doing, it's very different from the courses that were being offered in this country for many years. But you see,
so the policy is raising schools and merging the standards. But somebody asked me when I told the person this, that does it mean that you are raising Hantaman girls and bringing down Wesley girls so they meet in the middle?
No.
Is Wesley girls still going up?
Wesley girls got 6 science labs from the government. The president went to commission it. But Hantama also has 6 science labs.
Which is a story that could not have been 30 years ago.
Yes.
Because it's the old students who were provided, not government.
Not government. In fact, to Wesley girls, the credit of the old girls, they also rehabilitated their old science lab. But the government went in and built 6 science labs at a go. You go to Kumasi American School, 6 science labs at a go. Presec, we gave you 3. A number of schools across the country, we are building new science labs. But we're also building engineering labs.
What's an engineering lab?
So let's go to STEM labs. If you go to Accra, Accra High School, they have a beautiful STEM lab, fully equipped with even 3D printers. I was expecting that they can show it here.
Yeah, they'll look for it and put it down.
So if you look at what is happening there, you enter the STEM center and you can do coding, you can do robotics. So the high school students can offer course in robotics, and then the neighborhood children also come there to practice their hands-on coding.
Those who may not be students of the school?
No, because we're trying to create a pipeline. So junior high schools, primary schools around Accra High come there as scheduled.
Oh, they're allowed?
Yes, they are allowed to come in, and they are able to also do coding at their level.
So Accra High SSS, so Morning Star JSS can have their JSS 3 students go to the lab to look at it?
Yes, they can go there. So, but we are not also just restricting this to the junior junior high schools affiliated or close to high schools. We're also building model STEM junior high schools.
Oh, junior high. You're bringing STEM to junior high?
Yes. So the
can you identify talents at that age, 12, 13?
That brings me to gifted and talented education. Talent can be identified at an early age. So at the end of the day, if you look at Jabin, STEM high school, junior high school, it's a model junior high school that has everything that you can find in a high school. They have biology, chemistry, physics lab, and then a STEM lab.
And they're junior high school?
Junior high school. So you see, you have to lift up the middle.
When you get the photographs, then you start putting them on. Please go on.
You see, the thing is this. The bill at Parliament about free secondary education, one of the essential aspects of that is the upgrading of junior high schools. Because you see, the interesting thing for this country is that we used to have 7 years of secondary, O and A level.
Yes.
Then somehow we jettisoned 4 years out of it. We took away 4 years.
No, we took 1 year.
No, 4.
Is it not 7 to 6?
No.
How?
7 to 3. How? Because the Pre-Tertiary Education Act says identify education in Ghana as 2 years of kindergarten, 6 years of primary, 3 years of junior high, and it's all basic. Secondary.
Oh, junior high is added to basic?
Yes. Has always been.
When the old system, the junior high was part of the
secondary.
Okay. Yeah.
So it has always been. So that is the reason why junior high school buildings can be dilapidated and nobody cares. Because it's not seen as part of secondary. So the free secondary education bill is looking at upgrading junior high schools so that it will be part of secondary, effectively giving us 6 years of secondary education.
Wow.
So this is Accra High. And when you go, they have the STEM lab there. You have
this is Accra High on the screen now.
Yes. So you see the
robotics?
Yeah. And then high school students are working, but junior high school students also go there. Primary school students also go there. And it's fascinating to see us creating an ecosystem. In fact, we are now going to launch. Tomorrow we are launching B-STEM, Basic STEM program. And
that's for GSS?
Yeah, GSS. And it's going to be very fascinating what happens at that level. But if you look at the facilities that are coming up for junior high schools, I've always said that public schools have been seen as, can be defined as rectangular shaped buildings painted brown and yellow.
Brown and yellow, yes.
Where the students wear brown and yellow uniforms as if to match the color of the school. And this has been the norm. And we call them junior high schools. But the law is saying that they are part of basic, and we've left them.
So the amendments you have in Parliament is going to call them secondary?
It will make junior high school, which is high school, recognized legally as high school, and therefore we will be required to equip them with the necessary infrastructure, necessary facilities. So let's take a look at how public schools look like for the most part across the length and breadth of this country.
Please, let's have it. Let's see it.
It's a rectangular shaped building painted brown and yellow. And where the students, as I always say, wear brown and yellow uniform. This is what you see.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, across the country. This is it.
So you are changing this?
So a number of schools have been changed already. So let's move on to the new infrastructure for junior high schools.
Now, this new infrastructure you are presenting is going to be the standard for all junior high schools?
Junior high schools. There are two of them.
It's going to come soon. Yes, this one.
Yeah. This is your new junior high school.
Every junior high school is going to look like this.
Towns with about 7 junior high schools, you build one of these, you move all the junior high schools there, and they have libraries.
Yes, that's policy. So you're not going to have junior high schools littered in a community.
No.
You're going to build one proper one.
One proper one that has everything that the high school is supposed to have.
So you're going to name it after the town. Labadi Junior High School, Teshi Junior High School.
Of course. It can
Jachi
easily be named.
Junior High School.
It can easily be named. It can be named after Ghanaian schools, can be named after a chief, can be named after anybody. But so this...
can we look at that video again, the new
It's
blog?
showing here, but it's not showing.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So this is the one at Jabbin. Otio
High School.
Model Junior High School.
Junior High School.
Yeah, and it's a STEM high school, and it has biology, chemistry, and physics lab. It also has a STEM lab to match it. But in addition to that, the good news is that it is getting everything that a high school has.
I see.
And instead of 7
but that means laboratories.
Schools, yes.
Football field.
Everything. Instead of 7 junior high schools, now you have 1 junior high school that has everything. The library is there.
Can it accommodate all the people who are in the 7? Do you plan?
Yes. Yeah. This one will accommodate all of them. But you go to some towns and it's just 3 of them. When you have just 3 junior high schools, there's another model that we do. It's a 2-story. And we built quite a number of them across the country. And when it's fitted with all the labs that you can find in a high school, you've upgraded junior high schools to a level of high schools, effectively giving you quality 6-year secondary education in practice and subsequently in law. You see, invariably, we enact the law and we are trying to catch up to see if we can go by what the law says we should do. But in this case, we've done the facilities, we provided the tools. Then when the law comes into effect, then you are really implementing the law the way it should be implemented. So if you look at what is going on, we are upgrading junior high schools. We also have taken a serious look at dilapidated school buildings. The closest school to the Ministry of Education is St. Barnabas at Osu. Had a visit to the school 8 months ago. I left there fully determined that something should be changed. And that's something that should be changed is what we have done.
Have the St. Barnabas there on there, please. Can you come and do what you have to do? Let's see it. Yeah, that's it. Is that the old one?
Yeah. I visited them. I had a nice time with the children. They were in a classroom without ceiling. When it's raining.
So this is the first time you visited them?
Yeah, this is the first time I visited them. And you see, it's an Anglican school, they grew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is Accra. Look at the outside of the building, and it's fascinating to see within and without the level of dilapidation that you could witness there. And the interesting thing is this is Accra.
This is the St. Barnabas?
St. Barnabas. This is Osu.
In this old form.
Old form, and you can look at, you see.
Oh, wow, this is terrible.
It's terrible. 8 months ago, this was as in Barnabas. And I left there thinking, can we truly educate?
Why did you go there?
I do surprise visits.
So you were visiting the nearest school to the ministry.
And I saw it and said, no, let me go and see this school. And you take a look at this and you're asking yourself, can we truly educate 21st century children in 19th century buildings and expect 21st century outcomes? No, we can't compete in the 21st century if we think this is okay for children to be in.
So what did you pull the building down?
No, we brought in engineers. There was a need for retrofitting. They did it. And today we have a new St. Barnabas. We've sent furniture there. Everything is great. We are opening. In fact, it's going to be fascinating.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, it's the same building?
Yes, but we retrofitted and changed the roof entirely.
Oh, you made fidelity to the blue color.
Oh, yeah. The classroom without ceiling now has ceiling fans. Everything you see here is...
this is impressive.
It's something you can see in Morning Star in any of the private schools. The whole idea.
Oh, but that's impressive.
Yes.
So the children must be very happy.
Very, very happy. Very, very, very happy.
And their teachers are happy?
Very happy.
Did you ask the teachers to vote for your party?
Evidence-based. So if you look at, we are now moving them. We've changed actually from this.
Please put the next one on.
The dual desk, and now we are giving them mono desk. So they are going to be
so that
seated.
They're individuals, yeah.
Yes, they're seated like in high school.
Oh, is that how the mono desk looks like these days?
Yes.
Okay.
Junior high school, and they should be seated like high school students.
So they are ready mentally?
Yes. And next week, our commission is going to happen. But the good news is that we have a model. When we got the $1 million per constituency,
yes,
at Bosomchi, we decided that we'll do a model junior high school.
Okay.
So we did it there, and we are replicating it across the country now.
Oh, I see.
So if you look at what is happening, the junior high schools at Bosomchi, you can really see that these are just like any school. You can
junior high school at Bosomchi, let's see that one.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, yeah.
You see how they are seated, monodex.
This is Bosomchi in Ashanti region.
In Ashanti region.
Oh, they wear bow tie to school, the girls?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very decent.
And the parents love it.
I can imagine.
They rather wear this than wear the brown and yellow.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so if they are going to buy the
uniform, is brighter, it makes you think.
Buy the uniform, they will buy this than buy the brown and yellow. Parents are excited here. And it's a public school. And it's a junior high school that has science labs.
Wow.
Science labs. Junior high school for library. And everything you see here, you're going to see that it's an environment that is very different.
This is a lab?
Yeah, this was built by the Middle Belt as part of the $1 million per constituency project. And this is junior high school science labs. So what we are doing as a nation is begin to look at how do you provide quality learning environment. Because you see, 3 things that you need to do in education is that you provide access, provide the floodgates of education for all, but don't stop there. Enhance the quality. And after quality, also make sure that the education you are providing is relevant to the 21st century needs of your country. If you put the 3 together, then education plays its rightful role as the most important socioeconomic transformation agent. If you just do access and don't look at quality and don't look at relevance, the transformation doesn't happen. So if you look at the Asian targets, all those countries that were referenced, they did not just give access and then forget about quality. You have to do the 3. Once you do the 3, then you are putting, this is a building built by the Arab Development Bank. By the way, the building that we are seeing here is not from Get Fund. So
it's from where?
Arab Development Bank.
Arab Development Bank?
Yeah, Badia. They had a project.
Well, so which school is this?
This is a junior high school. This the one at Gachi.
Oh, I see.
Then you see the one at Jammeh. We have one coming at Chamba in the northern region. We have one coming up at Chebi. It's all over the country.
I see.
But there are 2 variations of it. We had a big one that is about 7 schools. Then you have another variation. That is a 2-story. And this is also all across the country in a number of places. Yeah.
This one?
Yes. This is a 2-story building. And this is for towns with 2 junior high schools or 3 junior high schools. They can all move into this and leave the dilapidated old buildings and really move into a place where the community feels like, wow, This is different. So all across the country, November, middle of November, we are commissioning 80 new schools. 80 new schools.
In November, this November?
Mid-November, yes.
80 schools?
80 schools. You're going to be excited about...
You mean government has delivered 80 schools?
Oh, yes. You're going to be excited about Jetokwe.
Let's see it.
Jetokwe in the Volta region, Southton. Dilapidated building. Now they are moving into a new school. Furniture is going there. By tomorrow there will be furniture there. The school is going to be commissioned. You go to Azan in Yellow Krobo, dilapidated school building. Now they have new buildings. All across the country, and some of them interesting, the media brought attention to it. We go in and we have a new building. So you look at this one. This is Jetokwe.
Oh, this is how the school was? On thatched leaves.
Yep. Southton.
This is the school. So this is like a school on a tree.
Yeah, yeah. Because the tree is there, so when when the windstorm comes, it's going to be a school under tree soon. Now this has changed. The community is ecstatic. They can't believe.
Let's see the new one. Do you have the new one? Yeah. This. Okay. Is that it?
Yes.
This is the new one.
Yes.
This one.
Yes.
Hey, and they're moving in when?
This middle of next.
It's one of the 80.
Then you go to Azar. By the roadside stood what can be a 17th century school. And we've resigned ourselves to our fate that is good enough for Ghana. And
this one?
This one. Azar.
Where is
Yellow
it?
Crow.
Yellow Crow?
Yellow Crow.
This is the school?
Yes. By the roadside. And the community is...
And it's a GES school?
Of course. It's a government school.
Oh. Government builds this or an individual builds it?
The community builds, the government absorb and call it a government school, and then we don't go and look at them again.
So when we call them a government school, what do we give them? Why are they a government school? What kind of support are they getting? Is that a new one?
Yes, this is a new one.
Oh, wow. It looks quite simple, but the improvement is significant.
Significant. Go to
it means that it's just it's not money that was the issue. It is just a responsibility matter. It wasn't money.
And it's a vision matter.
It's a vision and
it's a
responsibility. It is not money.
You have to have a vision and say to yourself, things have to change. And once you are determined that things have to change, then you approach organization. There may be a project. Say,
so at least when it's raining, they can remain in the classroom.
Of course, they can remain in the classroom.
They can have a chat.
Yeah, as a partner here, it's a fascinating case.
And they can meet in the assembly in the middle.
Yes. You go to as a partner here in the building that was there, the students are in, and you cringe for somebody who you look at it and say, no, it can be better than this.
This is Asempana here?
Asempana here, yeah.
Wow.
I want teachers to wake up and can't wait to go to their schools. Because
they must be happy to go there.
Yes. And the school has to be the most beautiful building in the village.
Let's move on to the next segment, Doc. People are texting, sending me texts. They're asking me, ask Dr. Edutourism, how are we converting all these into votes in December 7th?
You see, the thing is this. If you look at this.
This is Asempana.
Yeah. Change has come. And change must continue. It's a simple case that we are making to Ghanaians. And the case is this. Look at this school.
The new Asempana.
What it used to be.
Yeah, we've seen what they used to be. They should give us the
new
Asempana, yeah, as quickly as they can. Yeah.
And you know that there's this idea that Ghana,
that's it?
Yes. This is the new Asempana. And then people talk about don't have a maintenance culture. And no country has maintenance culture, but they have a maintenance budget. And they have maintenance staff. So you see, this school comes at WC and they will have a cleaner there.
Oh, you adding that?
Oh, yes.
And a budget for it?
Oh, yes. Because it really doesn't make sense.
The maintenance is about budget.
Yes.
It's not a culture, it's budget.
No, there's nothing cultural.
It's not culture, it's budget.
Yeah. So these schools are all getting there. But let me take you to East Legon for the middle class.
Okay, let's pick the East Legon one.
You are going to see a school which by all standards matches any public school anywhere in the world. And if you're a middle class and you're spending 30 to 50% of your income.
Oh, this is it?
Yes. Of your
I like the first photograph that came. Why is it gone? The orange one. Is it going to come back? It's a video, okay. So this is their building it, they're putting it together.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for.
Yeah, this one is already complete. There are two buildings, 2 blocks. This block is done.
This is in East Legon?
Oh, yeah, East Legon. That one is done.
Is it a hostel or what's this?
No, it's a school. It's
classrooms?
A public school. Classrooms. laboratories, everything.
But it's not just JSS or
It's
primary.
from kindergarten to high school. It's a community school like GIS.
Kindergarten to SSS.
SSS. So you can go with your little siblings and you all be in the same school. So of course, for the senior high, it's a day school. So this part is done. I actually visited this with the flag bearer, and we had a nice time looking at what is inside.
Are you commissioning this soon?
Oh yes, this is one of the schools that.
Oh, this was the hall.
Yeah, we have 2 dining halls, one for the little ones and the.
Oh, it's a day school dining halls.
And this auditorium for the school.
This is oh, that's the vice president.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Was it an unannounced visit? It looked like there was no media. I just went to show it to him around.
Yeah, I want to show it to him. It was very short notice, so we didn't have a lot of media there. But he was super excited to stand in the assembly hall and of a public school.
This is going to be a public
this
school.
This is a public school.
This facility is better than any.
Yeah, you don't pay anything to get here.
I can't. Nobody is going to believe that you don't pay anything to get there.
I love how the reception area looks like. I want parents.
The school has a reception.
Oh yes. I want parents to walk in there, drop off their children, turn
That's
back
it.
and say to themselves, "This is a new Ghana."
Oh, this is truly a new Ghana.
A new
Accra
Ghana.
STEM Academy.
Yes, where I don't have to pay tuition, I'm getting quality education.
This is the school.
Yes.
Public school owned by government.
Yes.
It's free to attend.
Free to attend.
In Akufado's Ghana, I don't believe you, Dr. Edutourism. I don't believe you.
The website will be up.
This is serious.
Yeah, we're getting a website up. They gave me up to Monday for parents to apply. And you go there, you are keeping your money. If you're a medical doctor, you don't have to spend your hard-earned money on the education of your children. And
but this is better than Morning Star. This is better than Bishop Bowers. This is better than many of those schools in terms of the infrastructure.
That should be the
Christ
norm.
the King, Mofratro in Kumasi. It's better than.
That should be the norm in this country.
How many of these schools do you hope to have if you have time in government for another 8 years?
We need 4,000 junior high schools across the country in different forms, in different sizes.
Okay.
And once you do that, you can totally revamp the junior high school. Then you turn your attention to the primary schools. You see, if you're a medical doctor, and this facility has Bolgatanga, and they are transferring you there,
you don't worry. You're fine. If this is a school that your children are going to go to. And what about the teachers? Would they go?
Of course. If you're a nurse and you are being sent to a village where the public school is good, at minimum, you don't worry about the education of your children.
And your accommodation.
And that should be the norm across the length and breadth of this country. And I tell people.
But that's why Americans go and stay anywhere. You can stay in Arizona, you can stay in New York. It doesn't matter. We are transferred from Washington to wherever. It doesn't matter.
There's a commitment by the government that public school should be free and the quality should be enhanced. So when you are raising your children in America, the last thing you worry about is the cost of education before university.
It's at university that you worry.
Yes. If the schools are not good, then you move to another community.
That's about it.
That's about it. End of story. But it's not spending 30 to 50% of your income in paying school fees for 11 years. Then what happens to the middle class? How do you save when you are spending 50% of your income? There's a kindergarten.
In that school?
Public kindergarten. We're building a number of these kindergartens across the country.
This is pre-class 1?
Yeah.
And this is government owned?
Government.
You're going free?
Free.
Teachers are going to be bathing the children and taking them around?
This Dominico Avinya is a beautiful place. The president went to commission it. You have the smart board and all those things, and more of them are being built across the country.
You guys have done a lot of work.
This
is really transformational.
And this is why I want evidence-based communication, not to come and talk about what is in the pipeline and plans are far advanced. And no.
Or green book.
No. It is about, it is done. And if you want me to continue this, President Muhammadu Bawumia will give me a chance to continue this. And that's my message to Ghanaians.
But maybe John Mahama will give you a chance to.
I don't know about that. My president will give me a chance to do more of this. And I get excited when I see this, and sometimes I get emotional because I go to these schools and you look at St. Barnabas, and I look at how the place was like. And just a vision supported by a president, urged on by a president. You see, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, I call him the motivator in chief. I go to him, and the kind of words he will say to me, I come back and I can't wait to go back to work the next day and deliver for Ghanaians. He makes me know that I am truly appreciative for the work you have done. And once I hear those images, words coming from me, I want to do more for Ghana. My brother, it can be done. There's no doubt about it, but we need visionary leadership. We've been at this for a long time, and it's all about doing some small things. And there's no reason why we cannot do more. And this is what we have done in this country, and we're going to do more. Take a look at some senior high schools that have been built. And it's unbelievable when you see that these senior high schools are in Ghana. Beautiful, better equipped than senior high schools in America. Some senior high schools in America. Let me take you to Awaso. It's a fascinating story.
Okay, let's look at Awaso and then we come and talk some more politics on the youth mobilization.
A school with 12 science labs. This is a chemistry lab.
Awaso is where?
Awaso.
Awaso.
Western North.
Western North, okay.
Yes.
Towards the Ivory Coast border.
Yeah, Western North. This is it. Yeah.
So this is a senior high school.
Senior high school. They have, the interesting thing is that they have a fume chamber for chemistry experiment. Something that you see at the universities. A smart board is there. The teacher is happy with a smart board, can touch the screen, and anything that he wants to see is coming. There's a fume chamber in the chemistry lab at Awaso. You go to Abomusu, you're going to see the same equipment there. You go to Diaso, you're going to see it there. You go to Kwasi, you're going to see it there. These are all new high schools that have been built by this government, fully equipped. And when I hear people talk about the MPP have destroyed the education system, I ask myself, which planet do they live on? This is evidence-based communication. This is a high school in Ghana, built by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and there are about 10 of them. And now we are going to open one of the best in Ghana at Weja, here in Accra. And I call it the high school with the most beautiful. Senior
high or junior high?
Senior high.
Let's see the Weja one, and then let's get ready to talk politics. Is it going to come? Okay, somebody sends me a text and says that, good evening, Paul. Charlie, look, this is your MPP people, pa. How can they be doing such phenomenal work in the education sector and they are so mute about it? This is serious transformational leadership. This is more than visionary leadership. Why are they not talking about these phenomenal exploits? MPP should learn to talk. Free senior high school alone is the election winning ticket. That's alone. If they focus on that, they have won this election.
So there's Weja.
There's a concern. Where is the Weja? Okay, let's see it.
It's so beautiful. You stand there and you look at the lake.
Oh, that's a Weja lake?
Yes. So there's a high school.
All these buildings is one school?
Yeah, one school.
Boarding?
Boarding.
It's called what?
Weja, this is a Global Studies Academy. They will do international studies.
Senior high.
Senior high.
And it's called Global Studies Academy.
Yeah,
like
so
a specialized thing.
Specialized thing. Because you see, when you talk about Ghana's role in the world, and you talk about Africa Free Trade Area and all those things, one of the things you're going to see is that the high schools are not preparing the future generation of Ghanaians who can take advantage of the African.
So you're already teaching them global trade, global facilitation.
Trade will be taught in this school. Geography,
in SS.
SS.
So they'll do history, they'll do economics,
geography, and then they have their STEM infused and then doing coding.
And they are boarding.
And they are boarding.
In Weja.
Weja.
It's attractive.
Yes.
Has it opened?
No, we're opening this year. So
the first admissions are going in this year?
Yeah, this year. The headmaster has been appointed.
But they have a really beautiful view with the lake. The students are going to have a good time.
Yeah, you catch your breath from the classroom and looking at the lake, and it's just beautiful.
The fascinating thing is that then you go in free. It's government.
It's free. It's government.
It's unbelievable.
So the kind of thing that are happening in this country, the kind of transformation that's happening in education, it's never happened before. And we are not leaving the existing schools to say, oh, we are not coming to you. We are building STEM labs. Go to Fijai. They have a STEM center built there. In Fansipim, we're getting a STEM center. Jine is getting a STEM center. So they too can do STEM. And then they get the science labs to go with it. So, my brother, the point of the matter is that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has done something. I call him he did we've done Manifesto Plus. We didn't promise Ghanaians that we're going to do STEM and transform the country through STEM. We're going to do new high school courses, but we've done it because it's the right thing to do. We didn't promise Ghanaians that, give us a chance and aviation and aerospace will be taught in our schools. It has happened. Go to Afia Kubiampem girls. It's so fascinating when you go to the school and see the children flying drones. In fact, they are probably the only high school in the world for tarmac for flying drones.
Oh, wow.
It's fascinating. What the girls are doing, and now there are a number of schools, about 13 of them are going to do aviation courses in high school. So you see the drone here, we've shown this around the world. And
Lookman is a former president of Nooks. He's writing to us. He says that, hello, Paul, many of these schools are far better equipped than the university I attended in Germany for my master's degree. This is the new dawn we have always yearned for. Indeed, it's development in freedom.
So you see there.
Oh, that's a drone runway.
It's taking off. That's a runway.
Which school is this?
Efiakubi Girls.
Girls' school?
Yeah, girls' school.
And they are building drones?
Yes. And
the girls?
Oh, yes, and flying them. In fact, Zipline saw this and they came to meet with me to see how they can support our high schools to do more. 13 schools are now going to be doing it this year. And it's fascinating when you see the kind of thing they can do. The one aspect of this is that the girls, after they did the drone, they said, no, why can't we do a remote control boat and put it on the Atlantic Ocean and we'll control it remotely and it will be on the ocean. They went to the Western Naval Command, they built a prototype, the Navy checked it, and it lacked stability. They went back and they did it. You see, they are doing woodwork.
These are girls?
Yeah.
Cutting the thing like
Yes,
that.
and they are doing woodwork. See, STEM
so these girls
and
are what,
TVET,
15, 16, 17?
16. And they do woodwork. So TVET and STEM is coming together.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, for transformation.
We are becoming like Germany.
Yes, so they do the woodwork so that they can use that design, the remote controlled boats. After they finished that, they went to Takoradi, and the Navy helped them to deploy it on the Atlantic Ocean.
That's it.
Yeah, that is it. The Ghana flag is on, and in the next few minutes, you're going to see this boat on the ocean, and it will be going.
And it's built by girls.
The girls at
from Efiakobi.
Efiakobi and from girls.
And where is the school? Which region?
Ashanti region. It used to be called Achumamine many years ago. Built by
I know that Achumamine name. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, and they are remotely controlling it. And in fact, they are fitting this thing with cameras in such a way that it can take images of things under the ocean, so it can come onto your iPad.
These are girls who have not yet had tertiary education.
No.
This is amazing.
So the kind of things that are happening, it's unbelievable. And then I tell people that, do we have to press the reset button on this? Do we have to truly stop this? So that we are pressing a reset button and everything is going to be done again because something wrong is taking place in this country? You can't go back. We need to go forward. And you look at this and you say to yourself, everything is possible in Ghana. You see,
somebody says that, Senior, please, can MPP, our beloved party, employ some of us to communicate free on some of these projects? Edutourism has shocked everybody this evening, and all of us are sending texts to each other. Where was this? Where was that? He said, in fact, my wife is amazed, and she's now changed her mind to vote for the MPP, just watching you for the last 10 minutes.
I have one.
No, there's a concern coming from all the text messages. Now, why has the story not been told?
They should come and see me. Look, we have to. Look at this. This is a high school. And it's the structure is unbelievable. All across the country, you are seeing this. And now we are not limiting it to high schools.
Which area is this? Which school is this?
I think this one is the Sewell School.
Is that junior high or senior high?
This is senior high. And the fascinating thing is that we are not leaving the whole progress to senior high schools. We're also lifting junior high schools up. We are lifting primary schools up. I took a visit to Asim Boys, a surprise visit, and I went to Asim Boys. Interestingly, the school had been abandoned. In that school, I had only 5 students in the class. The middle class have left the public school. And today, next to that old building, we have a new school coming up, which is going to be a school for gifted and talented education. GATE has come to Ghana. The president, about 2 months ago, Cabinet approved gifted and talented education.
What's that?
It is identifying children who are so talented, but somehow can't find their colleagues and can't sit together with them to be motivated to innovate and do some great things. So gifted and talented education has been done in America and other countries for years.
So this is where some of the borrowing has gone to?
Definitely.
Because the campaign talks about borrowing. Okay, Francis Asiam, MPP stalwart, formerly for the NDC, now says that the highest greeting and appellation to the visionary, can-do, spirited, indefatigable, versatile, dedicated, workaholic, affable Minister for Education, Osei Edutourism. In fact, Ghana is moving forward. This current education and digitalization momentum and strategy push will surely turn the corner for Ghana. Today, dear, just I should read her text because Trump is winning. Dr. Edutourism doesn't like to hear that. He's a Democrat. Trump is winning hands down with less than 275 to 316 electoral college votes plus popular votes. Good luck to Donald Trump, 45th and 47th POTUS. Anyway, okay, Francis, a text message, duly read. Okay, somebody says, I'm addicted to Good Evening Ghana. I wish I had a canned version. I'm so proud of what you are doing. This man is just simply great. Osei Edutourism, when are you running for president?
No trouble. No, I don't want any trouble.
So, Carlos Ahinkra, Member of Parliament, he says that this is Carlos. We are all fascinated. The MP's platform is sharing your interview. So why will Ghanaians see this and vote to change? Change for what? Edutourism, God bless you. That's from Carlos Ahinkra. Okay, so everyone seems to be sharing the same view that why has Edutourism not said, talked about this so long, that long, since long? Because he says he's now launching the schools. Okay, many people want me to ask you about your role in the campaign. Yes, they know that there is education, but they say you were responsible for a bombastic blast of Dr. Friye on your platform over Galam Say. You were head of launching something in Kumasi, youth mobilization.
Yes, yes.
How is that going? Is that another role you have in the campaign?
It's not actually just the youth. We are reaching out to different groups of people and talking about education and getting people to understand. You see, most of the time, if you're going to meet with medical doctors, you get another medical doctor to go and talk to them about their profession as it relates to your manifesto. But medical doctors have families to raise. And I think they should be interested in public education and how providing quality education for them will enable them to take care of their children and also be able to serve the country better. So if you look at what happened in Kumasi, on Monday, we met with clergy. 3,000 of them drawn from the entire region.
Is that the clergy?
The clergy. And they came in their numbers.
Clergy based in Kumasi?
Accra, the whole Ashanti region.
3,000 of them?
3,000 of them.
What were you telling them?
We were telling them the story of education transformation in Ghana. It's about 2 to 3 hours, showing them the images, explaining to them what is going on, why we are interested in gifted and talented education, why we are upgrading our junior high schools, and why community village schools should be transformed. So we had a very nice time with the clergy. Reverend Christy Boateng mobilized for us. We came in and spent a very good time with them. When we finished, people were not leaving.
Wow.
The Reverend was telling me it was just like a revival. They were touched. And they were saying to themselves, this is a new Ghana. This is the Ghana we have been dreaming of for many years when we talk about we need to have science to humanities ratio of 60 to 40. But we did not look at the pipeline for producing the 60 to 40 humanities at the universities. How do you get 60% science at the universities when the high school, the junior high school, the primary school is not promoting science and not promoting STEM? In fact, I did a presentation at Columbia University in the United States about a month ago. They were amazed.
In New York?
They were shocked. In the US.
Columbia in New York?
Columbia in New York. They were shocked. In fact, they gave Ghana a standing ovation at the end. And they said to me, Ghana has found the blueprint for African education transformation. We have good children in Africa. Everywhere you go, whether it's Ghana, Nigeria, you enter a classroom, students will just stand up, and if you don't tell them to sit, they won't sit. And yet, you go to conferences upon conferences around the world, and they talk about African education crisis. And I don't seem to get it. That if there was going to be education crisis, it shouldn't be in Africa. Our children are so good. If we are not producing the best, and if they are not the best in the world, it's our fault, because they can be better and they can be the best in the world. But you see, you can't be the best in the world when your education system is just promoting memorization.
Yes.
I had a fascinating meeting with West African Examination Council about 4 months ago, before the BEC.
Yeah.
Because you know we have a new curriculum at the junior high school. So they are going to write the first exams.
Okay, so the exam just taken recently is on the new curriculum, which has history.
Yes. So I asked them to come and see me in the office so that they can show me the table of specification. You see, contrary to what most people think, we are supposed to tell WAEC how we want them to assess the children.
Okay.
Why should not be dictating to us?
Based on our needs and based on what we want the children to know.
To know.
Yeah.
So if you want critical thinkers in Ghana, how do you allow WAEC to do an examination system that has over 50% at the lowest level of learning, which is remembering?
Memorization.
We have 6 levels of learning. Remembering is the first and the lowest. If you want critical thinkers, you run away from memorization. There's something called the new Bloom's taxonomy. So if you look here, remember is the lowest.
The new Bloom's taxonomy.
This is how teachers are trained to write their lessons so that children become critical thinkers. You see, many years ago in Ghana, you go to the sixth form and you did logic and reasoning.
Yes, yes.
As a course, because they wanted you to think.
Yes.
Then we took it away. But in America, they did not do it as a separate course, but every subject is supposed to have critical thinking.
As part of it.
As part of it. Then, so we borrowed the American system, took away the logic and reasoning, no O-level and A-level, but we did not ensure that we have critical thinking embedded in the coursework in our exams. So you see, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create is the highest level of learning. And that's why I believe visual artists are the best and brightest students we have.
So it's remember.
Yes.
That's basic.
The basic.
Understand, next level.
Yes, apply.
Those of us who couldn't remember were using understanding. So if you are not there, you are in trouble.
Apply.
Apply
you are moving up.
Apply, you are moving up. That's complicated.
Analyze, evaluate, and create.
That's where the issue is. At the university level, it should all be create, especially for arts students.
So what is happening? They came and met with me. They showed me the table of certifications for a certain course. 20 out of the 40 questions were on remember.
Wow.
Another 10 was on understand. Another 10, the last one was on apply. Analyze, evaluate, create was not there.
So they didn't have any questions that is testing the students' capacity to analyze, and to evaluate, and to create.
So I told them, and I made a comment that I'm sorry, but the tail is wagging the dog here. You are determining the leaders of this country in the future. We are determining the kind of children we are raising in Ghana, and no. So they went back and they came back with another table of certification. At least 40% of the questions were on 4, 5, and 6. So people will tell you the exams was difficult. But this
was 4, 5, and 6 what? Apply, analyze, create, evaluate, and create.
Yeah, analyze, evaluate, and create was out. And it was added.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, it's not just quality infrastructure and not just the fact that the children are going to school, but who they become is first and foremost the most critical thing we need to do. And we can't have an examination regime that focuses on remember, understand. Because people think that you design your curriculum, you do instruction, and then you assess. So they say, oh, the test comes last. But it's not the case. Teachers, if we did not change these questions, were not, the next year, they were not going to teach at the highest level possible. They were going to sanitize the curriculum.
I don't know whether you've seen this report, but when you come on TV, people send me, oh, Business Insider Africa, top 10 African countries with the highest quality of education. Ghana is second, 84.5%. Tunisia is first, 93.1%. Have you seen that report?
I haven't seen this.
It's just coming in now.
I'm not surprised, and we'll get to one.
It's 31st October.
We'll get to one.
So Ghana is now second. Namibia is third. Mauritius 4, Togo 5, Cape Verde, Morocco, South Africa, but Ghana is second on 84.5. That's impressive.
We will get there, and we'll be the best. Now, TV transformation is outstanding. You go to Brewer on Cape Coast Road, and the town will tell you the place has changed because we revamped the Brewer school, MVTI, and now it's a technical institute, equipment, everything is there. This Enyinam in the eastern region, and they have this new TV school. Everything that you want to see in a TV school anywhere in the world is here at Enyinam. 10 key projects built by Italians, paid for by government, with everything that you need to have.
Wow.
A number of TV schools, even in East Legon, there's a TV school right behind at the Accra STEM Academy. It's Accra Applied Technology Institute, a new TVET school with everything that you want to see.
The next level of conversation people wanted me to ask you, I know that I have time, we don't have time for that today, was to say that all these people that you are training, where are you easing them into?
You see, when the Frank Berra talked about creating 1 million IT jobs, right? Some people don't understand. But if you have students doing coding at different levels, these are students that you can easily prepare, not just to work in Ghana, but stay in Ghana and work for companies abroad. I had a great meeting with Cisco, the idea of networking. Huawei is challenging them a bit, and they are the network.
They are the giants of networking.
Giants of networking, and they train the next generation. Now they want to come to Ghana.
Oh, I see. Cisco will set up in Ghana to train.
To train. And we'll start from the high schools and technical schools, train Cisco certified network engineers at the lower level. By the time they finish high school, they are working. They can work remotely for a number of companies. That's what Indians are doing. So these days, it's not about, the industry is not growing that fast, therefore don't speed up. It depends upon the courses that you are offering in high school and beyond. You see, we've created a high school system where we think everything is about preparation for college. And that we are not giving them the skills that will enable them to work. You rarely see a high school student walking into your office.
It used to be
CV
with the old system. They go to banks.
Yes.
They go to police, the military.
And they have a skill.
Yeah.
They write well. And that is why today, as I speak with you, we've introduced an intervention course that if you come to a high school and you can't write well, you're going to take 2 English classes the first year. One is going to teach you how to write and write well before you move on to the second year and the third year. So the bottom line is this. We have identified gaps in our education system. We're saying to ourselves, if we're going to create a more robust economy, lay a strong foundation so that the economy doesn't just get shocked and before you know you are begging the IMF, then we have to take a look at the education system and look at how do you create an education system that brings about innovation. That's why I'm super excited to see UMass and Pentecost University offering engineering coursework to students who did not do science but did visual arts, for example.
Oh, they started?
Oh, yes, they've started. They went to level 300. And UMass Vice Chancellor will tell you that they are doing better than those who did science.
I see.
You see, a visual artist can look at you and draw you. Engineering came from art. And then when you do engineering drawing. But the person who can draw is not being supported and helped to become an engineer. So who are engineers? When those who can innovate and look at you, draw you, cannot design bridges
and it's
for
those who
us.
can memorize and calculate equations.
So
then you're going to have an engineering that doesn't innovate. And that's the story of Ghana. We've been saying it all the time, that our engineers go to, they can't build anything, they only build traffic lights. After 20 years of shouting, they started building traffic lights.
So now
because we are not bringing in the creatives.
They are not in. So we are not saying lower the standard, but what we are saying is simple. They come in, they didn't do physics and chemistry, which is important for engineering. You are giving them 1 year intensive physics, chemistry, and math. So you see, if you look at it, if they did science, biology, chemistry, and physics in 3 years, together with 4 other courses. So if they come and do only science by itself for 1 year, it is just as those who did the science for 3 years in addition to other courses. Because when they are doing the pre-engineering, they are not doing any other subject. They've already passed that. So I tell the story of Kojo Mensah, who had a dream and God was talking to him and God said, Kojo, you're going to be the best engineer in the world. And he said, God, it can't be me. I'm growing up in Ghana. I'm doing visual arts. Nobody will allow me to become an engineer. So the bottom line is that don't lower your standards. But if somebody has a fierce determination that want to do something, these are 14 and 15-year-olds who made a decision that they wanted to do home economics. They wanted to do arts. They wanted to do this. And you are saying to them, we will never allow you to change, even if you have an epiphany. We will never allow you to change. Determined individuals do great things in their country and for their country. So we have to break those barriers for Ghanaian youth to say, I can and I'm going to be. Why do you tell a Ghanaian youth that you can be a network engineer because you didn't do science? When other youth in other places around the world are coming to network engineering with creative skills from visuals and others, and they are innovating in their space, and we are the ones who are putting barriers in the way of the children and telling them, because we didn't do the same thing during our time, you will never be able to do it. So I'm grateful to Pentecost and I'm grateful to UMass that they had an open mind. By the way, other universities also submitted their application. We created,
is that them?
Yes. And this is about 50-50, 50 girls, 50% girls, 50% boys. And now they're doing pre-engineering, going to level 300. So the bottom line, my brother, is this. We have to begin to tell ourselves, how do we create a country where innovation and creativity will be at the forefront? How do we provide an environment where this creativity can be nurtured? How do we ensure that we don't create two Ghanas? One Ghana for the rich, Ghana for the poor. The talent of the poor is not being tapped into, and we are just tapping into a small pool of talent from those who are well-to-do. When all your medical doctors and engineers are coming from our background, our children from our homes, what happens to those in the villages who are also equally talented and probably more resilient? They go outside and walk around. Children are home, we are protecting them. And these resilient children don't have the opportunity to become engineers and medical doctors because they happen to be in the rural areas. They never saw a beaker at the junior high school, and they don't do on the science enough to be allowed to do.
The line of text messages now says that when is Edutourism coming again? He has to come every week before the election.
I'm available. You see, these are the new courses we are doing in high school.
Some people say that the minister has forgotten about one of his biggest achievements, the Creative Arts School in Kumasi. Tell him to talk about it.
Oh, yes, it's coming. And we are doing phase 1 opening first year. And actually, this school where we are recruiting students from around the country. Next week, the headmaster will hit the road and do audition across the country to get a talent to come there from all the regions of Ghana, and they are coming to Kumasi. And these young men and women are going to really upgrade our creative space and make sure that we improve whatever we're doing, the creative arts, which is a very important aspect of what we should be doing. And that's why I'm so happy that now we are not just doing visual arts, we're also doing performing arts in high school. Because it doesn't make sense.
Performing arts in high school, so you can get people. At the beginning of this interview, I interviewed some young men who do skits and all those things.
Yeah.
So you're going to start getting that kind of quality straight from high school.
And these are individuals who would then say, I want to go to the university and do more. And by the way, they also do science in addition to the creative arts. So just like I said, that we don't need integrated science. That's your pathway. You can add your creative arts and do it for 3 years as a science student. Because you see, sci-fi
so as SHS,
yes,
then you're doing creative arts.
Yes. And then those who want to do creative arts would then add music and other things to the one creative arts course that they're going to be doing, performing arts that they're going to be doing. But there's so much happening in Ghana in the education space. It's really, really putting us in a space where in the next few years, Edutourism will be on the increase. Even now, about a month ago, I had Tanzania coming, I had Liberia coming, they all were coming to come and see what we have done in Ghana and how we can support them to do the same. And we traveled to Jamaica on their invitation. They saw the work we've done and they couldn't believe it. But you see, the free senior high school that people sometimes say, oh, it's bad and we haven't done this, and there are others who are saying, I'm coming to review. What are you going to be reviewing? Reviewing for me means that you're going to make sure every child is coming and they are not left behind. Let me show you a graph. And it's a fascinating story of what is going on in Ghana. Transition from junior high to high school, Northern region is the highest.
Transition from junior to senior high.
For every 100 students who qualify to go to high school in the North, 95% last year reported. And they report early on.
95?
Out of 100.
Wow.
Go to high school from the Northern region.
From junior high?
From junior high to high school.
Okay, that's a graph you have there.
Yes. Northeast and Savannah is 94%. And Upper East is 92%. Upper West is 89%. That's the lowest in the North. But the lowest in the North is higher than any rate in the South.
I see.
Volta region is 76%.
Wow.
Central is about 78%.
I see.
And now, when you hear the president talking about, let me have the free secondary education bill, some people don't understand that part of the bill is the free compulsory universal secondary education as a provision in it.
Somebody says, where can all these updates be seen? Can't Dr. Edutourism put it on some page? Paul, create a TikTok page for him and keep loading the way you do it on your page so that Dr. Edutourism can have it.
To work. So,
yes.
So if you look at what is going on, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if there's a review about secondary, it should be how we improve the numbers for those regions that are not showing. That is what we should be doing. Talking about it has not been.
Another person says, Dr. Edutourism shows that a person does not have to be at the very top to make such a powerful change. We thank Nanado for scouting him and pulling him out of Los Angeles. Okay.
So Opokwari is the story.
Yes. What's Opokwari's story?
Being converted to a smart school. Classrooms are changing. They have their tablets. And a number of schools have their tablets, but they will have 500,000.
Oh, the tablets you were distributing is gone?
Yes.
To SSS people?
Yes. 500,000 is almost gone now.
Wow.
And we are looking forward to the next phase. But this is a classroom at Opokwari. You see the smart board there. And our goal, we are working on getting...
Is this a laboratory or a classroom?
This is a classroom.
And everybody's holding a laptop?
Yes. Everyone. It's one-to-one.
Oh, so that's how they learn in school these days?
Yes.
In Ghana?
In Ghana. This is where we are going.
Wow.
One-to-one learning.
Free.
Learning management.
Do they have internet connectivity?
No, they do.
Free?
Yes. We are now really revamping it to the extent that it will be campus-wide.
For the internet?
Internet.
So anywhere you are, you can
Anywhere you are, you can. So you look at this, and these are the students of the Opokwari. The campus is changing. 15 classrooms are going to be getting smart boards. And in fact, teachers are going to have their classrooms, and students will go to them. Because you see, that is the story of how secondary education is done around the world. When the teacher is in charge, look at this environment. It's so inviting. If my classrooms look like this, learning will be different.
Yes, it will be.
So that is where we are heading, that classrooms become different. And that you have the creation, and that's what is done around the world in secondary education. In developed countries, when you enter a classroom, it's the teacher's classroom. Decorated, projector is there ready to teach. The child sits down and hear the teacher.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Seth Ofori is also asking the minister when he's attending to his school. He says the BB Methodist Basic School in the Tyne District, Bono region. And lastly, Osman says, kindly tell the Honorable Minister to ensure that the moon desk and facilities are actually made and produced in Ghana. If that is the case, that would be better for the country.
Doc, so you wrote something down? Those
Yeah,
things that
the issue about people collecting money. I always tell parents that we have worked, we even have a toll-free number. The idea that somebody comes to you, and there are people who go to vulnerable parents who want their children in certain schools, and I can do this for you. We've seen it over and over. There are times when parents submit their request to the Solution Center and then pay money to somebody. And the Solution Center does the work and somebody collects the money for free.
Wow.
Yeah, because I also want them to understand we are there for them. I remember walking into a school, I think it was also Presec, and there was a child who had been placed there. He was coming from Kasua. He said, "Hey, get in here." Right there on the spot, I called the Solution Center and we sent him to Accra Academy. And that is what we are about. We want to facilitate the process for you so that education doesn't become too burdensome, especially for parents who need help the most. And you have to help the poor to get access to education. And I always tell people that we are here for you. Don't pay money to anybody. If you go to the Solution Center, we have dedicated coordinator, Ms. Afra is there. Ask for her. She will do everything possible to change your situation. Please do not pay money to unscrupulous individuals who actually don't do anything for you. They just lie to you, take your money, and when the work is done by the Solution Center, they walk away free with your money. So please, we shouldn't allow that. And in terms of, we are now making provision for the cost to be printed. In fact, we are moving online, getting report cards to be printed, and parents will have access to that information easily. But also want the general community. We are looking at billboards with information on it, social media.
To tell people that they don't have to pay.
Tell people that they don't have to charge. And a parent, unsuspecting parents will say, "Oh, it's a bill." So we need to make sure we get the public to know how much their tax CDs is working for the little ones that we are raising. And therefore, we'll do everything possible for the information to be out so that people fully understand. And I'm not going to be coming here, but we have Channel MOE.
Ministry of Education.
Ministry of Education has its own TV station.
And it's on the NCA platform.
Yes.
Okay.
So our goal is to make sure that everything that we've done, people get to know. I should be coming here. Yeah.
Now that you have a TV station,
the next 5 weeks before the election, I'm available. I have to make sure that...
who is your NDC counterpart, Dr. Clementa Park? Is he the ranking member of your committee in Parliament?
No, not you.
Oh, not you is the ranking?
Yeah.
But Park seems to be the one who speaks quite a bit. He's the deputy.
I want Ghana to know that something great is happening.
Yeah.
And it's happening under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. They gave me the freedom to innovate and guided me where I needed guidance. The president made it very clear to me when he first met me in America and helped him visited my school and so on, and said, "Please, can you come to Ghana and help me change the education system?" And I asked him, "What is it that you really, really want to change?" He said, "I'm bringing free secondary education, and Americans were the first to bring your ideas." He made me a deputy minister, and now I'm minister for education. Coming from a background where my mom didn't go to school, my dad didn't go to school, sitting in this seat is a miracle. And the kind of miracle I want Ghanaian children to know and understand. If you are watching me from a deprived community, so me, baby, I will hear. I want you to know that there's better day ahead of you. Who said? Once that me, mommy, and school, me, papa, and school, me, education minister. Once so, ubet me, I had the case, class, and so education minister. Me, mommy, and school, papa, and school, but we see schools, mama, and one year, mammy, a coffee, and now the uncle for father catches some Ragana, and a boy, and some monsieur. So, oh, Shemmy. Nanyama, I a dear man who said, would that him beat me, I have as a media. And he and then a dear and another danko now comes why you there. Now that in IFA. Now do him dear, Abba Yedmaka say, asking Amagana by. If Papa no doko ko, now make us can school crowd no discount over Conacra crab a coin. Nim dear, everything I'm so grateful that I came here. I want Ghanaians to know that the better days of this country is ahead of us and not behind us. Let's force forward. Let us change Ghana and make it the best country anybody can ever live in. And that is the kind of country I seek to create. President Muhammadu Buhari will give me the opportunity to continue this way. So all those who love me around the country, I know there are quite a number of you, vote for my brother Muhammadu Buhari, because when you vote for him, you have also given me an opportunity to serve you once more.
I have nothing more. America will be voting that day, but we'll be here as well talking about everything. We'll continue to serialize the book from Tuesday as we go out and give you the dates for the launch. Thanks for watching. Good night.